It's the Unbalanced podcast. Unbalanced, 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 unbalanced. It's the Unbalanced podcast.
Hello guys and welcome to Unbalanced, another episode with us. I'm Ariette Santos and on my right hand side I have
Jacko
and
Steeler.
with his wonderful energy as always.
London A.
Yes. And today we're gonna get a bit deep, guys. Why are you smiling already? Okay, right, we're not gonna, there's no smiles right now because we're gonna get a bit deep.
So I've just clocked, we're all in black.
That's why, because it's gonna get deep.
Okay.
We're going to talk about something very important, and I feel very passionate about this because I feel this is like the silent pandemic that we're going through, that social media has, highlight. I feel like loads of people on social media are highlighting it, but mainstream media is not highlighting it. And to me, it's a bit bizarre because actually more people are being affected than the actual pandemic that we're actually going through, which is COVID-19. But I feel like there's more victims way more victims going through this. And the silent pandemic that I'm talking about is human trafficking and child sex trafficking. I just checked actually just recently how many people within this year, just 1 year, about 800,000 people have been trafficked. And 43% of those, so basically we're talking about almost a million people, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about within a year, right? And almost half of those people are children that are being trafficked. So they're being trafficked for various reasons. One is modern day slavery, which exists, which is basically free labor and so forth. Other ones would be for organ trafficking, which is massive as well. And the other one is sex slavery, basically. How do you guys, hearing that, how do you guys sort of feel about that?
Personally, I think it's sick. For a human being to think it's okay to go out and kidnap somebody, a vulnerable person, and then use them as some sort of product to help them make money for their own financial gain, I think it's sick. And I think the fact that it's a booming business.
2.1
billion. It's a booming business.
Business.
Yeah. And you'll be surprised who out there are funding these types of businesses. Mm-hmm. I'm talking public figures. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say any names, but some very important people that we all know about are funding these kind of things. Mm-hmm. And I think it's sick.
Yeah, they
see, you know what I'm saying?
They see it as an investment, isn't it?
I think that if there's any... If you believe in any spiritual power, that I think that you should see what's coming to you in your afterlife, because I think that is the worst thing you can do to anybody in life. And I think that you have to answer to somebody, if it's not to us as humans, but to something way above us, because that is the worst thing you can do to a person. That's just personal. That's my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. And there is, I don't know if you guys heard about, well, it's allegedly at the moment, about the whole Wayfair thing situation.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
the furniture.
Yes.
Oh, is it to do with all that furniture thing?
Yeah. So basically,
yes, I saw that.
It's almost like a laundry thing. So you know how people launder money. So the way that they sort of have to, well, again, allegedly, because we have to say that, but we allegedly, is that they were, for the people that don't know, I'm pretty sure that most people heard about this, that they were selling Wayfair. Were actually selling wardrobes to the concentration camps in America. As we know, the immigrants that are coming from Mexico basically were children were being separated from their families, and they were basically being put in concentration camps. And then all of a sudden, some of the children that were in the concentration camp were going missing. And weirdly enough, when people were going to Wayfair, some of the furnitures actually had the names of the same young people and same kids that were actually missing in the concentration camp. So there's loads of politics and so forth around this. because because like one table will cost 120,000.
Yeah.
Just something
I saw
stupid.
it. Yeah, I saw like £15,000 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stupid, and it would have the name of a missing child.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just sick, to be quite honest with you, because I'm just thinking, what? I just want to know what Wayfair's excuse is. Like, what is it? I can't. Do we know like what?
Before we get to that, I think the fact that if we were on a Wayfair website looking up furniture or whatever, and we saw those prices, we're going to be thinking, well, that's a lot of money. But there's that pocket of people out there that understand why the furniture is priced so highly.
And apparently, it only has the item one left or something like that.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. So only certain people understand why a wardrobe will cost £1,400. But somebody like us will look at it and think, £1,400? That's not worth £1,400. Are you mad?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I want your best
So for somebody like us, will look at that and we'll just flick to the next tab.
Yeah.
Do you get me? But for those that are involved and know what's going on behind the scenes, they're going to think, okay, cool. Isabella, all right.
What I do feel.
Let me look her up.
What I do feel is I feel that the CEOs or somebody that's in the position to speak on behalf of Wayfair should stand up and speak on behalf of this issue, publicly address it to the nation, and give us some sort of an answer to why that is on their website, why they're advertising this, and if it's an acceptable answer, then maybe we can look further into the company. But you know what I mean, and bypass that. But I think somebody should address it.
They could never call it a coincidence.
It's not. Yeah, I think you have to address situations.
They could never call it a
like this.
coincidence. If they were gonna, if representative of Wayfair was gonna come out and say, "Oh, it's just a coincidence. That's just what we name our product," that is bullshit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Total utter bullshit.
I just think somebody should be held accountable to speak on behalf of that.
But the thing is, what frustrates me is the fact that the media, the mainstream media, are not picking up on this. And it's almost like, thank God that we actually have social media now, because of people actually speaking up, and people are now, in unity on hashtag Save the Children and Stop Human Trafficking and and so forth. Because especially, countries that are in war, that are poverty-stricken, that don't have the voices that we may have, they're the ones that are being most vulnerable. Because some of these charities, I don't know if you heard about a charity that went to an African country, and they were trafficking. Basically, they went there to help. Well, supposedly they said they went there to help, take food and clothes and so forth. And then they found a group of children in their private plane. So they went there with the intentions to traffic children, and then they got caught. And I don't know the aftermath behind that, but they ended up getting caught because they found all because why are there children being hidden inside your plane? And this is what happens to a lot of even charities that we may even know that might be doing this behind closed doors, because it's you have to think about this. It's a structure. So within every, I think, I'm not saying that every person that works there is evil, but whoever is running it, whoever positions of powers within those charities that are going to these countries are abusing it and
abusing their powers. Yeah.
Especially if they're saying, so people forget it's $1 billion industry. So if you can get, we'll give you 500K for one child, and you have no morals or no heart, that's nothing for you,
I just think people need to be held accountable. I think we live in a new era that loads of things get exposed through the internet, and I think that people should be held accountable, and we should be given answers on a public level. To be observant to these situations, like whatever situation it be. I mean, not just some private court that's closes the deals and we never hear about it. We need to know publicly what's going on.
And I just want to know, why is the news reporters, BBC News, Sky News, every type of news that's out there, why are you not speaking about this matter? If we're talking about people like, a couple 100,000 people dying of COVID-19, we're talking about millions,
because,
millions of people trafficked.
It's a booming industry.
Exactly. So
and it's just like this whole cancer thing. Of course, I don't know what you guys think, but I believe there's a cure for cancer.
Absolutely.
But because it's a multi-billion-dollar business, they're not gonna come on, really. They're not gonna do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, I just think that, money is the root of all evil.
This world won't be able to survive with all these people in it. So things like cancer, just killing off people, they're never going to solve that problem, are they?
I feel like education is what's going to free a lot of us. I think more people are becoming woke, more people are becoming educated, And when you become educated, that means that more people are in unity. Because if you think about it in terms of who controls this, the elite power, it's like literally 1 to 5%, 1%, which are the elites that actually have more. And then the rest, like we're talking about 90% of the rest of the population is us. So, however, they infiltrate a structure to make the mass basically feel that they don't have power, but without the mass, they have no power.
Yeah.
So if you have more people educating themselves, more people sharing information, more people in unity, that means that they will be less likely to push and force their ideologies or their bullshit, and they'll basically be forced to kind of speak up.
Yeah.
Because imagine if all the population are going, save the children, why there's human trafficking, there's riots, there's not right, but I mean, like, I'm not trying to say riots, but
Yeah,
whatever,
I understand what you mean.
protests
Exactly.
and whatever it is, then they will feel forced to do something like that.
But one thing I want to give the people a sense of peace of mind is that things in this new era are coming to some sort of solution. Epstein, one of those. There's a lot of MPs that have been caught out in this situation.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
So we are getting some sort of solutions, and we are getting some sort of justice, if that's the case. We're going into the new era, and the new era is exposing a lot.
See, when I look at people like the Epsteins and the Bill Cosbys and them kind of people that are being busted for stuff that they've been doing over the years, to me they're just like little guinea pigs. They're the sacrificial guinea pig. They're the ones that the elites have said, you know what, let's get rid of that one. Because we've got to let the nation know that this does exist and things are being done about it.
We're not going out.
Yeah, we're not going out. Do you know what I'm saying?
But
that's how I look at it.
But they will eventually. Everyone has time. I genuinely believe in whatever you put out there in the universe will come back around, and I feel like that's my personal belief.
But that's a personal.
That's a personal thing. That's what I'm saying. It's a personal.
But that doesn't mean that it's going to stop what's going on.
It's not. I don't feel like it's going to stop now. But I do feel like I said that we're moving into. Remember, we didn't have this information shed. A lot of these things have been happening for years, you know.
Yeah.
For years.
Years.
This ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
The only new thing, like even like everything, the police brutality, all of that, nothing new. The only thing that's different is that there's cameras now. The only thing that there's difference is we have social media now. And more people are seeing it, and more people are going, oh my God. But it's not new. No. So what I'm saying is, it's just
the technology.
Exactly, and the technology are exposing these demons, exposing these evil people, which means that more people are being awakened and so it's just like, it's going to take time to get to a point of possibly a revolution. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I feel like we may get into a stage like that, I reckon, personally.
Well, what we need to bear in mind is that the powers that be that control the media, they also have a good hold over social media, and they're the ones that manipulate the algorithms out there. So if the whole world is getting together saying, let's stop this, stop child trafficking, they can still manipulate it to the point where it doesn't go out and it's not distributed to the masses. They can still do that.
It happens on Instagram because what's funny about spaces like Instagram, for example, and Facebook and so forth, they would, there's always like policies, like, oh, you've broken policy rules for sharing the music for too long, or maybe nudity, or whatever rubbish it is. But when it comes to, like, I know people that actually have the social media platform to really just put out these things that are happening in the world, and it gets taken down. It gets taken down. And even when you put, I don't know if you guys know, even when you do post, it's like the higher your followers are, it's only a certain percentage
of your followers that will see it.
Yeah. So you might have 500,000 followers, but only 10% of your followers
will see it.
So,
but what I was going to say, which is very important, is that even if for us as one entity right now to reach one other entity, we are now passing on that thought process to somebody else now who can share that on with another one person, and it only just continues and continues until it can get around to the world entirely. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So I feel like we do live in an era where it is getting to the people.
I feel like we're not getting mad enough, and I'm not saying that we should go there and break out, destroy our community. But I feel like, where is the anger? Like, where is, like, I just feel like that's what's missing. And I feel like it's because it's not being put out there, like...
What I would say to that is, I think that the reason why you're not seeing any anger, Aria, is because it's not coming from our community. Because these things ain't happening to us. It's happening to people from third world countries, war-torn countries.
No, that's not true.
No, it happens. No, it does. It does happen.
I get it, but 52%. I'm not talking about England. 52% of human trafficking happens in America. 52%. That's half of the trafficking.
Yeah, but America is
Do you get what I mean?
huge. And there's certain parts
huge,
of America.
But it's not a continent. Do you get what I'm trying to say? 52% of almost 1 million people. That's a lot of people, babe. That's first world country. We're not talking about third world countries. We're talking about America, most powerful country in the world.
In this type of stuff is happening in these pockets within America where it can happen. This isn't really happening in a Manhattan. It's not happening in an Atlanta. It's not happening in a Miami. It's happening in those parts of America where it's just cotton fields and whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's happening in places like highly populated places within America.
Do you know what I would say?
Do you know what I'm saying?
What I would say is
people start to clock onto it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's probably happening to the poorer parts of America. Because America, you see America, yeah? Some parts of America are poorer than Bangladesh. Do you get what I'm saying?
Even in Hollywood, when I went to LA, for example, it's literally rich and poor. Like, if you go to downtown, not even downtown, even in Hollywood, like the strip, there's literally a strip of homeless people. Like, they've got their own homeless communities. I've never seen
Skid Row, isn't it?
So many homeless people in my life. And when you think of Hollywood and LA, and you're like, oh my God, you think like rich and dreams and
that
shit.
area is called Skid Row, I think.
What, the Star?
Where the homeless people live within in LA.
Yeah, but I'm saying that in the actual, you know, like going like Central London, for example, what you call it, Walk of Fame, Star Walk of Star. What's it called?
Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Right there, where everyone goes. Literally strip of homeless people. Yeah. So it's just like, but anyways, but what do you? I'm not gonna go into like celebrity naming or anything like that, but I heard, obviously, paedophilia is becoming a massive thing because of children sex. As we know, like almost half of the people that are being trafficked, which are children. And I've seen many, I don't know if you guys see many disturbing videos of children actually being kidnapped.
I refuse to watch it.
And actually being kidnapped. They found in China, there was like a warehouse of children, basically, like a strip of children basically tied to be sold. And funny enough, you said that let me bring it closer to home, East London, where I come from. Literally last year, a child, literally 5 minutes away from my house, was snatched right next to. So basically, the mum was walking, and you know sometimes kids tend to like walk a bit forward, and a guy on a ped basically just grabbed the child. But lucky, when the child was fidgeting, he couldn't hold on to the child for long. So he dropped the child out further down in the streets, and then obviously police came. I just saw like when I came, like you come back home from work, I saw the whole thing locked off. So I thought it was like a car accident. So I was talking to people like, no, like someone just tried to kidnap that, because I saw a woman crying. There was another woman there, and she's like, no, someone just tried to kidnap her child. And I'm like, what? Because you hear about this on the news, you hear about. But people don't realise everything can happen to anyone, because it happens in England as well.
This is why I make my missus text me whenever she gets to somewhere or gets home, just so it puts my mind at rest.
Even when you go to the park with your children, you have to be wary.
But what would you do if someone tried to do that to your child in front of you?
I would that person couldn't get away with it, because I would rip his whole face and stab him in his eye. I don't know, like what I'll do. Like I'll just turn into savage.
You're doing it with no
savage,
no remorse. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's the worst thing. I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, as a parent, knock on wood, God forbid, just saying, that I would never, for example, I would rather know that my child is dead than my child be missing for years and years and years and years. Because at least if your child is dead, you know, okay, you're gonna make peace with it. Do you understand? It's always gonna be something that will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't.
You ain't got. You ain't got to think daily of what potentially could be happening to your child.
That is spiritual and mental torture. Like, imagine parents right now. You guys forget this: 43% of children, of half, almost 1 million. So those are parents that got their children kidnapped, that are living this on a daily. I can't even. Father, like I can't even. Do you understand? It's just crazy. It's just bizarre to me.
As I said to you, that's why it's even more powerful what we're doing here now and talking about this, because I feel like even if us, that's our little support to those families right now, to bring it to awareness. And you know what? And anybody out there that's watching, if just put your 2 pence in, talk about it to your friends. Just keep it, the information moving, because I feel like for me, I didn't even really think too deep into this, and now thinking about this makes me overthink and think, all right, my children, I've got to keep them right beside me.
You have to just be cautious and wary.
Yeah, I think the craziest things, man. Sometimes I mentally bash myself up, man. Some of the things.
So you overprotect.
Yeah, I shouldn't put myself through it, man. That's like, I must drive my partner mad. Like, wherever she's going, text when you get there. If she don't answer the phone one time, ring her again, just to make sure everything's all right. Like, this is the person I've become because of what it's like out there.
It's crazy.
It's scary.
Because back in the, like I was saying, like back in the day, we would play out. There was that we didn't have that. You know, like our parents, even in the park, we'll go like literally 8 years old, 7 years old, we'll go to the park by ourselves.
But you know what it is?
You feel like you can't do it.
But
now.
you know what it is? That's the difference. I think before, with that era, the information wasn't passed
on. Exactly.
And we didn't really take...
What you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, now we're in that era where we can talk about these things. Share this platform, what we're talking about now. Share it with your friends. Please put it out there. Inform people. These things are real, what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of, you know, like, and I'm just going to highlight Libya, for example. So still the slavery, modern day slavery is still happening in Libya right now till today. Just because I remember going out there and protesting and so forth. And then I feel like sometimes when it's on the news, everyone's like, oh my God. And then as soon as it's off the news, it's almost like a trend that kind of tends to go down. We can't stop talking about something that has not yet stopped, you know, until we feel like something, because since Gaddafi's died, we know that Libya has gone down and been infiltrated with a lot of sick people that are in there now. And there's literally concentration camps, and people literally be, so, you know, and, you know, ships, so basically saying, oh, we're going to give you more work. As soon as they get there on the borders, they are basically kidnapped and taken and abused and so forth, women being raped, becoming sex slaves and so forth, which is massive as well. I don't know if you guys heard Pornhub. I'm pretty sure that you men are very, you guys are aware of Pornhub?
Never heard of it.
You guys have you heard of it? You never heard of Pornhub?
No.
Okay.
What's that? Cornhub?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cornhub I've heard of. Yeah, I watch Cornhub.
Is that where they sell, I don't know, corn on the cobs and stuff?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I like a good corn.
Anyways, right, so Pornhub is as you guys may or not maybe, it's a porn site.
How do you know about it?
Huh? Don't worry. Anyways, and who don't know about Pornhub?
Never heard of it.
Okay. Anyways, so what because you know, funny enough, I actually don't watch porn. But I'll be very honest. Back in the day when I was younger, you know, I did for educational reasons and you know purposes. Like, you know, all of us had a moment in our lives where we're like, oh, we're curious about it. But I don't actually watch porn, and the reasons why I don't. Funny enough, I always felt a bit weird sometimes watching porn back in the day, because I always felt like, are those women being, you know, abused, or are they really there because they want to be? I always felt like they're vulnerable women. I've always had that in the back of my mind. But anyways, but there are women obviously that are, you know, entertainers, adult entertainers. I just don't know how to differentiate, and that
between the
plays
two.
in my mind, yeah. But anyways, on Pornhub, they found 2 women that were actually kidnapped when they were younger, that were turned into prostitutes, sex slaves, and were doing a porn movie. And the thing is, now there's like, so Pornhub is basically being investigated, and, you know, they're like, you know, when you do get these videos, why are you not doing back checks?
You got to vet them.
People. Yeah, basically. So there's this big
protest
and situation going on now about the whole Pornhub and people being, you know, women being trafficked.
I totally agree. They should be accountable for everything that they post. And
there has been times like, never heard of Pornhub, but I've watched porn. And there's been times I've watched certain videos.
Are you actually being serious? Are you chatting shit?
No, I'm chatting shit.
Of course he's chatting shit.
What's that?
He was on Pornhub on his lunch earlier.
Oh, you saw me, innit?
Yes,
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard the intro. Before I recognised the intro.
So stupid.
Naughty America.
No, but I remember one time I was watching it, and it wasn't one of those glossy porn films where it's done with a big production team and that. It was like one of those back road ones. And the woman did not look like she was on it. Do you get what I'm saying? And I remember thinking to myself, rah, what's really happening here? Is this woman actually doing this because she wants to do it? Or is she being coerced into doing this because her vibe, her facial expressions, like even when she was performing certain sexual acts, she was putting nothing into it. And I just remember, and I remember at the bottom, you know, you can kind of report certain videos. You can press the report thing. I was a bit, it did cost my mind if I should press it, but I just logged off, man, because maybe she's all in for it and I'm just going to start up a big hoo-ha over nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? But
it's better than I feel like in the future, if you do feel like what Aaron is saying, however,
just
you
press
report
it.
it. Just report
Yeah,
it.
just
Because
press
what's
it.
the worst that can happen?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
if it's legit,
It's true, yeah.
then it's legit.
Yeah.
And if it
Just
ain't,
ignore it. Yeah.
do you understand? I'd rather have that in my conscience and not.
But do
I agree.
you know, one time, me and my ex went to Thailand, and our first stop in Thailand was Bangkok. And the first night we arrived in Bangkok, we went out into the strip, and you just get swarmed by these people saying, "Ping pong show, ping pong show. You want to watch ping pong show? Ping pong show, ping pong." And we're like, "What's this ping pong show thing about?" So then we asked someone about it. They said, "Oh, it's like one of the biggest attractions in Thailand. Like if you go to Thailand, you have to see a ping pong show."
What's a ping pong show?
I'll explain it. So we went to this ping pong show now.
I want to know what ping pong show.
Free entry into this ping pong show, yeah? Okay. We got a tuk-tuk to some derelict area, got off, walked in, free entry. They said, all you got to do is buy drinks. So we went in there, sat down now, and it's like a strip club.
Okay.
But what happens is you get these women that, like, it's like a strip club, but the stage is in the middle. So everybody's sat around, facing inwards. And then you just get these women doing all these tricks with their vaginas.
Is that true?
Shooting at the
Do they really shoot at ping pong?
shooting at the table tennis
They
balls.
shoot at the ping pongs. They could shoot at tennis balls. One woman drew a caricature with her vagina. She put a felt tip in her vagina, squatted over like, I think it was what's bigger than A4? Is it A3? A3.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even looking at the paper. She was just looking up, moving her hips, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. She picked up the paper, big caricature like.
With her
and
vagina.
It said welcome to Thailand or something.
With her vagina.
With her vagina.
That is some super
She must have done well in art then at school.
But let me tell you something though.
That is some super vagina.
One thing all those women had in common is they all lacked enthusiasm. They were not. They were there, but they weren't there.
Yeah. They
And I remember.
there.
I remember. I said to my ex.
Wow.
I said, look at their faces. Do you really like? What do you think the situation is? Do you know what I mean? And she was like, you know what? It's sad. And then I looked around at everybody. Like there's Brits there, Americans, Germans, all of that. And certain men were getting off on this thing, you know. Like they were amused. They were do you know what I'm saying? They were on cloud 9. And I just thought to myself, nah, this is sad. This is poverty.
Yeah,
and I know some of them had kids because there was one woman that I'll never forget. She had the C-section scar. Do you get me? So I thought to myself, oh my God, this poor woman, she's probably got children. She's got children, and she's doing this because this is her only way of making money. Do you get what I'm saying? And while she's entertaining these people, she doesn't really want to be doing this. Do you know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, if there's a demand for it, they're going to do it. And I feel like as well, also you didn't know what the hell a ping pong show is, but I'm just saying that once it's one of those catch-22 ones because you feel like that's the way that they need to be making money. So if you kind of don't go, they don't get the money. But at the same time, if you keep carrying on supporting these things, then they're going to carry on abusing these women. Yeah. So it's just like, what direction?
I would love to go back to Thailand, but I'm not going to see a ping pong show because it's degrading.
Don't support ping pong shows.
I want to know. The question I want to know is if America want to take the title of the world savior to like dealing with issues, what are they doing about these situations?
That is the most funniest thing.
Or what is England doing about these situations? Because I see when it comes to oil and when it comes to all these things, they want to get involved and they want to be.
Do you know about the British Empire? Do you know the history of America?
Yeah, we do. But what I would say is, rather than getting into it,
they're the people that caused the most wars.
I agree. But
in
what
the world,
what I would say is
till today,
which I agree, but that's allegedly. But what
allegedly is real facts.
Yeah,
I bring you real facts.
But what I would say all right, I always say that you shouldn't be held accountable for what you say yesterday in life, because there are people who've done crazy things in their life as just normal people we know, and today they're different people. So I always say you are who you are. You're accountable for who you are right now, who I'm dealing with. But if you want the title of being, you know, the world saviors, or you want the title of being the most civilized, or you want to be title of all these things that you want to take the title of, what are you doing about these situations?
Why, babe? But it's just like, I can't even hear that, because when you're saying that, I hear that's your opinion, but it aggravates my soul, because those are how are they it's almost like you're asking the people that are supporting the shit, that are putting the money to help. It's like, it's like the enemy that's actually causing the situation is the people that you want to be calling out.
No. Do you know what I'm doing? Do you know what I'm doing? What I'm doing is
you think all of that is all BS.
What I'm doing is I'm actually just putting it to the question to them. You know, when you watch a video online, you see advantages of people police taking advantages. I always ask that question. I'll always tag under the video at Theresa May, you know, what are you doing about this? Because these are the questions, and if we can get a mass of people asking these questions at one time, then someone will answer to it. Yeah. But we have to have a mass of people who ask these questions at one time.
Oh, yeah. For example, that goes for Marcus Rashford's thing, isn't it? When he put out that thing about the school dinners being free. Well, as soon as someone else jumped on it, the more, they had to reply.
Numbers and unity.
And today, I was online, and there was a video. It slipped my mind because there's so many videos, and the amount of people that supported it gets to some sort of a solution. So we have to unite as people. We have to answer it as a nation, and then let people like Boris answer that question. Let's see a result. Let's see things happen. Let's see what Britain is doing for the slave trade. Let's see what they're doing. What taxpayers' money is doing to help these situations, rather than opposed to.
Do you guys all know that we were all
paying tax? Yeah.
Till 2015, slavery tax.
So, of course we do. Yeah.
You guys know that.
And if I'm correct, I think Cameron's father was a part of that.
So
if I'm correct,
talking to the wrong people that are up there, that all needs to be eradicated.
But what we have to do
brand new people.
But you know what it is? If we're going to do it with education, we've got to address it. We've got to address it, because we can't go in there and start throwing, aggression at it. We've got to address it with intelligence, and we've got to have the smart people in front who can talk for the nation, who can address themselves the correct way and speak for the people, and we want answers.
They do that. We need new candidates for that, though.
I just think that we just need strong people.
Yeah, I hear what you're trying to say. I want to ask you guys. Obviously, you guys I did touch this area, but I kind of backtracked about the whole pedophilia thing, which is massive as well, because now they're trying to almost, say that they, fight for their rights. I mean, there was a movement back in the day, but now it's becoming like they kind of, like in Greece, for example. Yeah. If you go to Greece, you are actually put as, if you're a paedophile, that's a disability in Greece, which means that you can get like allowance or for a disability if you don't work, for example. And obviously that's what they're trying to push worldwide, because there was this guy that was on Twitter, which he was basically saying that there's two types of paedophiles. There's a paedophile that actually has relationships with children, and there's nothing wrong, because that's what they. Yeah, because they don't see it as rape, because obviously they're sick in their head. Like, when I mean sick, evil, I'm sorry, I can't see it no different than that. And then there's other paedophiles. I don't know if you saw it on BBC Panorama. And I was like, to be quite honest with you, that was the first time, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that was the first time I actually took time, because I just wanted to understand what the heck is wrong with these people, yeah? And I took time to listen to this brother. No, brother, you're no brother, you. But anyways, listen to this guy, and he was basically saying, he said he's never ever physically touched a child or ever sexually abused a child.
But he was attracted to them.
But he was attracted to them.
That's one thing.
And he was struggling to fight it.
Yeah, did you see it?
I heard about it.
The fact that he came out, to me, that was a bit brave, like, because I'm like, by the reason he said
he did something about it.
He did something about it. And the thing is, I would never say I respect a paedophile, but I did respect him only because he basically said what he finds it wrong. He said, I know that my attraction for children is wrong. And
it's mental health. It's a chemical imbalance.
That's
what it is.
I feel it's debatable. It's
mental health. It's a chemical imbalance.
I don't know. I think that, boy, I believe that. I feel like some demonic spiritual force, boy. So, anyways, he was fighting this. So basically, however you want to see it, whether it's just in a spiritual sense, I would believe the same thing. but we might think in a scientific.
I think it manifests physically as mental health. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's something wrong with your mind, but it's a spiritual thing. Do you know what I mean?
It's like if you want
to like your soul like it's like.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. It's like, for example, it's someone that urges to rape people. Do you understand? You don't have to rape people. You can just have sex with people, but they urge to have rape. Would you call that person someone with mental health, or do you get what I'm trying to say? It's up to you how you call
that
it.
mental health, man.
You call that mental health. Other people
Someone
call it evil. Do you understand? Just demonic.
Somebody.
Exactly. So it's the way that you sort of interpret, because
That's
I feel
mental health, man.
I feel
if
like
you've got a tendency to rape people,
but
not have what's the word? Sex, like consent and whatever you want to call it, however you term it. Is it consented sex?
Yeah.
Consented sex. If you're going to go out there and rape people, if your thing is to rape women, put women at a disadvantage and force yourself upon them, and you get a buzz off that, and that's what's...
I don't think that's mental health.
That's mental health.
That's power and control, B. That's power control. It's the same thing as someone that abuses a woman or domestic violence. It's the same thing as power and control, because you, for example, you feel inferior. You feel there's a sense of emptiness, a sense of coldness within you. So in order for you to gain that sense of whatever, you're going to take power or take energy. Do you understand? It's like an energy sucker from another human being. It's power and control, and it's the same thing with these men. It's I think with pedophiles, it's power and control, because they're children. And like, if you're a child, you cannot consent. And I will have to repeat that again. If you're a child, you cannot consent. It is rape. Do you understand?
I agree.
And at the end of the day, you saying pedophiles should have rights is basically saying rapists should have rights. And if we're giving allowance to pedophiles, we might as well give allowance to flipping rapists. Do you understand? So for me, like, I don't know.
I don't believe any of them should have rights.
And question again.
Sorry to cut you. I think there's some sort of cognitive confusion, chemical imbalance thing going on.
So what do you think is the solution?
If you are attracted to children, remember, as we grow older, we are attracted to that window, that demographic that we're a part of, our age group. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we grow up within our age categories and we're attracted to one another. Do you know what I'm saying? And then as we get older and older and older, like maybe 30s, then we might be attracted to somebody that's maybe 21. But when you was 12, you weren't attracted to a 3-year-old. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you're still at that stage, that mental stage where you're still attracted to younger children and not the people that you're growing up with, there is definitely something wrong with you.
Subconscious trauma.
There's something wrong with you. That is not normal. That is not. I don't even think that's control. I think they're lacking control.
Yeah, but what?
Do you know what I'm
Some
saying?
demonic spirit
that
needs to be rebuked.
I wouldn't say that's somebody trying to
But when you go
be controlling.
You know what?
That's somebody that's losing control of themselves.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm
But
saying?
you have to look at when you're looking at a man
that's negative energy, man.
A
Negative energy, man.
21-year-old, yeah.
Sexual
That's
spirit.
because
Sexual demon
society
spirit.
puts that subconscious thing in your head that you're a playboy. Yeah, like only playboys like Hugh Hefner and all these guys that are playboy, and it makes it acceptable subconsciously in your mind. You're like, you know what I mean? That's what it like. Youth is like a virginity in its own right. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And this is what they're looking at. So I feel that the media sometimes is actually throwing certain subconscious visions upon you, subliminal visions on you, and it's subconscious
100%.
in your mind for some that you're awakening certain things. Like I don't believe that you should allow yourself to watch certain things because you don't know what it can awaken in you. Yeah, and I feel that's the danger right there. And I think that when you expose kids to certain things, i.e., you know, a lot of people don't speak about it, but you know, let's say families that have, you know, fathers that touch your kids, and there's a lot of traumas at home, and these things
It happens in molestation all the time.
That affect adults down the line.
Yes, exactly.
I work in the field, so
and no one speaks about these things.
And you find that a lot of the young people
abusing
today,
children.
a lot of the young people today that are like in school and are very highly sexually promiscuous, a lot of them have been tampered with.
Been molested,
but that's
been abused, because what it is,
Isn't
abuse.
Isn't that mental health?
It's abuse.
Allegedly.
But
Because if they wasn't going through that as a child, they would be a bit oblivious to the feeling, to feeling sexualized, to be touched in those places. They wouldn't urge.
But the thing however, I'm sorry, as a human being, you still, even as a child, you know, kind of when something ain't right. You innately, a human being innately knows. It's like I call it, the conscience that God puts you innately. Like you know what's right and wrong. So from the time someone touches you in a way, you automatically retrieve. Like you're like, oh, you're not supposed to touch me in that way. That didn't feel right. But then obviously what happens is that person can continue being abused. It becomes a norm. Like toxic relationships become a norm. It doesn't. But they realize that when it first happened, it wasn't a normal thing. So when you become older and you feel like, oh man, I'm being a bit sexually, or that means that they need help. But now when it gets to a point where you're now going into children that are actually people that are much more vulnerable than you, and you're an adult now, and you feel like, oh, I'm going to prey now on children, and you've now checked that, and you within your conscience, if you're good, like that guy, like I said, that pedophile, I don't respect him in the sense like as a person in terms of coming forward and say, you know what, my sickness is wrong. Me being attracted to children is wrong. And you know what? Please change me. Help me because I don't want to be this type of person. And I think more people just said it's a sickness. Do you understand? I'm saying, but but for me it's more spiritual as well. Like I'm a spiritual person, so for me it's more than just a mental thing.
I think everybody's a product of their environment. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to justify their actions.
But you understand, there's evil people out there as well.
I'm not trying to justify these people and what they do and their illnesses.
I know what you're trying to say.
I'm saying it comes from somewhere. It comes from somewhere because the majority of us, we're not like that. They're a minority.
Okay, so
there's a minority in everything that exists, in every characteristic, everything that we can be as human beings. There's always a minority. Yeah, so those people are a minority. You know what I'm saying? So there is something not right about them.
So there's
because when you look at people like all them people that went and shot up Columbine or them university campuses and whatever, every single one of them had some sort of traumatic experience growing up. Every single one of them. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying?
But it's still no excuse. That's what
I'm not saying it's an excuse.
I know. But what I'm saying, okay. Let's go from they got something that's wrong with their head. We all know that there is something wrong with their head. Yeah. Right? But I hate using because sometimes when I feel like I'm using the term mental illness, it's almost like it becomes an empathy thing.
No,
it becomes
more empathy.
I know that you're not doing that. Yeah. I know that's not your intention, babe. I know because I know you. But I'm saying it projects. It feels like, do you understand, people that actually have real mental health issues like bipolar. So and it's like you're putting them under almost like the same sort of umbrella. I feel slightly uncomfortable because for me, I feel like as much as you say there's something wrong, but I feel like there's some negative spiritual force happening there as well. But remember, that's just me, my person, because this is my faith. But what I'm saying to you now, for example, then Greece, then you then agree that what Greece is doing is correct.
Am I agreeing? No, I'm not agreeing.
But you just...
No, I'm not agreeing. I'm saying that
because
these people...
They're basically saying they've got a disability. So now
I agree that I agree that it's some sort of mental health issue, but I'm not saying that they deserve any benefits or any additional care or whatever, or their sentences should be lighter than somebody that sells drugs. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying none of that. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not for that shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, run all of them. But what I'm saying is that they're not right. You cannot be right in your head. I can't. There's issues there. 100%.
I don't know what country.
Because it's usually the ones that have been tampered with as children. They're the ones that grow up to be the rapists and the pedophiles.
I don't know what country. I don't know if it's America now or a different country. I'm not going to quote on what country it is because I read it and I can't remember the country and I'm trying to figure out what she was talking. But basically, what they did, I think it's a state in America, what they are doing now with pedophiles. And I think, because we're trying to think about what is the best way, because there are pedophiles. There are pedophiles out there. So how are we dealing with these pedophiles, right? Yes, harsher sentences, 100%, I think, because I feel like in a weird way that they actually protect these pedophiles.
100%.
They protect these pedophiles. So pedophiles should have the least remorse. Just like, because it's a rape, it's no different from a rapist.
You would traumatize a child.
No different from a rapist at all.
Yeah, you traumatize a child.
You take a child's life away. So if you as a child, you felt like you was abused and now you're going to do the same thing, repeat the same cycle, come on, it's a rape. So basically you should get the same. For me, I feel like you should get the same as a rapist will get. Do you understand? No less and whatever not. But what they basically do in this state, Yeah, well, yeah, worse, 100% worse. But what I'm saying is that in this state in America, they are using this it's like an injection, like medication, where it takes the sexual. Basically, it takes the
Your
sexual
libido.
pleasures of a, like, you know, the, what's it called?
Libido, sex drive.
The sex drive. So yeah, is that what it's called? What's that?
Your sex drive.
Yeah, okay. I thought you called it something else. So basically, yeah, that feeling of
Desire.
arousement. So basically, you can't get a stiffy, and you don't feel sexually
The
aroused.
hormones, yeah.
So they're basically injecting pedophiles with that, so they don't get actually sexually aroused. So in hopes that they are less likely to actually sexually abuse children, because if you haven't got no sexual feeling, you can maybe be attracted, but you won't be able to do, because you haven't got. I don't know how it would work, but you get what I'm trying to say.
I think also with the technology that we have in this day and age, we should be alerted by mobile if you're around someone like that as well.
Yeah, we can be alerted by
I think
the
we
COVID.
can do that in this day and age. They can do that with COVID-19.
The sex offender list.
Yeah, sex.
Yeah.
I think that it should a text should come to your phone to let you know that you're around someone who's been, arrested.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
I think that these are the things that the government should introduce
Yeah,
to say.
microchip them people there.
Then again,
Microchip
then
them.
again,
I
they're
think
not
that
going
if
to
you're going to let them out and you're going to give them this mental illness,
Microchip them.
against human rights.
Then they're gonna. It's just gonna cause a whole heap. If something flashed up to me, there's a paedophile near me, boy, he's gonna.
then I think.
You might even have to hold a few.
All right,
jabs,
let me break it to you like this, Jacko. I would say it like
It
this.
will cause world.
Jacko, what I would say to you like this. I can't sit here and tell.
Some of them get new identity, right?
Some of them might be in school. Some of them might be politicians. Some of them are the people that you actually dare singing a song by.
Jacko.
Like pedophiles coming all shapes.
I would say it like this.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I would say it like
I'd
this.
love that to happen.
I'd like to say it like this. If you're not going to do them for, let's say, because obviously murder is a big sentence, and you're not going to put them down for this big stretch, even when they come out from that stretch, it's very still scary to think that these people are around our kids. So what I think they should be given is you can either go to your own community and stay within your own hub, and then all of you can kind of group together and stay within and be given some sort of therapy or some sort of, because it's easy for me to sit and say you get the injection and take this injection, and it's easy for me to sit there, and I'm not trying to say it from a perspective of that's not what I want. I would want them to have that, but it's easy for me to say that. Now, I don't know if it's a mental illness. I don't know what it is that makes people do these type of things, because I don't have this desire. But what I will say is they should either be given a community where they can't come out of, or we should be alerted. One of the two.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. I just think
stay in your community.
I'm just saying, realistically, if that was to happen and we was to be alerted every time some sort of pedophile was,
what's funny?
it's just gonna cause.
But it would make any person think about doing it before.
That's true.
But the problem is, it goes back to child sex trafficking, because this is the issue. There are pedophiles that may be too scared to go out there and actually sexually abuse a child. So what would they do? They watch porn, child pornography. So the reason why some of these children are actually being trafficked is for them to do child pornography. And if there's a demand, they
Massive
will
demand.
provide.
But why is child pornography not locked? Why is that even being allowed to access?
No, because a lot of these websites, they're tubes, so people can start profiles and just upload anything.
So they can just hide from the internet with what they do.
It's like a YouTube, yeah. They can just upload what they want.
Not
until somebody reports it, then nothing.
With the technology we've got these days,
I feel like it's bullshit.
The technology should be able to pick up things like that.
Yeah,
and that should be locked straight away.
If it can block people's music and it can block all these things,
that's true.
Of course it can.
That's true.
I remember my friend making a joke the other week saying you can't get porn on his phone without Wi-Fi. It's adult secured.
Yeah.
Like you can only go off his Wi-Fi. Can't go off his 4G. Whereas I'm making a joke. So if you can lock that, you can't lock child pornography? It doesn't make no sense.
And if you take it from a Wi-Fi, then it should be some IP address.
It's very cool.
I think you can probably go like on face recognition. Do you get me? In fact, like in terms like that, where this is not an adult.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Like something like that they could do it, but it will have
They've
to be
got
something
the-
like that. But
they've
in
got
terms of
the
like a video
technology.
going,
The
yeah.
They've got it. The thing is,
they have it.
Jack, they've got the
Of course
technology.
they have.
They're choosing not to because we're still forgetting that the people that are running up the top
Yeah.
are a bunch of evil pieces of shit, demonic pieces of shit.
But you'll only
Like,
find
they're
that
to
stuff on the
corrupt
black
all
web.
that.
You wouldn't find that on the internet that we access. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you don't find child
I've never
pornography
seen
on like
nothing
a
like this in my
Like,
life.
Pornhub
I
or
couldn't even
one of
type
those
it in
things.
just to look to see what people even look at.
Yeah.
You couldn't even catch me
Be
even doing
careful
that.
doing that as well
You
because
couldn't even catch me doing that.
Yeah.
Just to see what these people get out of it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you couldn't even catch me even.
But what I would say is also,
Impossible.
what I think is that if there's any helplines out there as well, I think anybody that knows any helplines for people who have these thoughts but are not acting upon it, I would say seek them out. Try to get help from early. If you have been traumatized, if you have been abused
rebuke
as a
that
youngster,
demon that's inside of you. Pray
seek it
and
out
rebuke
and
that
try to
demon.
get as much help as you can.
Yes.
So you don't
rebuke
do
it.
these things.
Rebuke it.
And you don't traumatize another young person into doing something like this.
100%.
That's a solution
Yeah.
in this situation.
And
one
for
thing-
for those that actually do abuse children, you're gonna feel the wrath of God. And
I
if I
agree.
ever see you, I will rip your fucking face off.
The second that.
And one other thing, going back to the whole
Alex can dig your eyes
human
out.
trafficking and child trafficking thing, is one thing we didn't mention is that us all parents out there, when you're going abroad with your kids, make sure you got your kids on lock because that's where it's most likely gonna happen.
Just reminded me of Madeline.
I was just about to say that.
That's what-
Do you think that person that they're trying to pin it on? Do you think that's the
No!
culprit?
No, I think I'm not. This
Well,
is
we
my
don't know,
this
but-
is my opinion. I till today, and I may be wrong. God forgive me if I'm wrong. Forgive me, God. But I just have a feeling that the parents have something to do with it. I just have feelings because never in history, I think it's 52 million, something stupid like that for one child. We've just been speaking of almost 1 million people get trafficked. Almost half, like basically 600,000 children get trafficked. What makes Madeline? I'm not saying that we shouldn't. Don't get it twisted. I'm saying that we shouldn't, care about, finding her and so forth. But why was there so much resources, like so much money put on one child? Because if they split 52 million, you could have found about 20 other children or 40 or even 100 other children with the amount of money that you put on one child. So to me, I don't know. It's just when the
Something
media,
doesn't add up.
Something doesn't add up. And even as parents, come on, like we're all parents here, right? You go to Portugal, you leave your twins, 6-month-old twins, and a 4-year-old child in their rooms by themselves. Go and have dinner, not downstairs the lobby, because it was around the hotel. Leave your child. Anything could have happened.
Yeah.
Anything could have happened. As a mom, I couldn't even go downstairs to the toilet without me by, oh my God,
Listen,
I must have pee myself.
It's
Do you
mad.
understand?
It's so mad you said that. Me and the missus and the little one went to Canberra Sands a couple of weeks ago, and it's funny you said that. Yeah, was playing bingo, and the little one I was out with the little one who's running around to the machines and stuff like that. So anyway, we came back in and we sat there, and I said to her, "Can you imagine leaving Roman in the caravan while we're doing this, talking about the Madeline thing? How can someone just leave their kids there and go and do what they've got to do?" Like we just thought about it, and like there's little kids just running around. Parents are just
And
playing
yet they
bingo.
they
Kids are
gain
just
so
running
much
around.
sympathy from the
The
nation.
parents need to be arrested.
They gain
And we just
so
sat
much
there and
sympathy.
thought,
But
imagine
but-
leaving him in the caravan while we're doing this.
But let me tell you something. If that Madeleine McCann thing had happened to a lower class family, it would not have hit the
100%.
airwaves the same
If
way.
If that was a black child, 100%,
It would
it
not
would have
have-
been blink as well.
It would not
Yeah.
have hit the media like that. It's only because they were from an affluent background, probably had high paid jobs. Maybe I don't know what they were.
Yeah, I swear that
Social service will not come.
I swear that dad
Social
was quite
services.
powerful.
Yeah,
I swear that dad
you
was
need
quite
parenting
powerful.
skills.
Oh, is it?
He had a really good job. I swear he did.
If I tell you,
Swear
if that was God forbid, touch wood, but if that was one of us and our kid got kidnapped, we're not getting that media coverage.
Mate, never.
We're not getting it.
So coming
Like most parents.
So coming to like the end of the show, like I think that there's a lot to think about and reflect on for those that are watching that are parents, and just really keep your eyes open, and take in the information that you're given, that we've just given. And if you can add any information to make the world a better place, please put the comments below, and just let's inform the world, and please share your views as well.
Yeah, and I would just like to also just summarize before we close. I don't know if you guys got your own little summaries of the show. But my summary is as well, speak to your children about their body. Child molestation happens more with people that you know, and most children that get abused is by someone that you know, either a school, family, friend, people within their family, friends of friends. It's never a stranger completely. So at a very young age, there's videos on is it NSPCC? They've got videos of just basically saying, this is my body part, no one touch it. So your child is aware. There's ways that you can educate your child, so your child knows how to, just basically safeguarding your child. Educate your child. Yeah. So when your child is being manipulated by a paedophile, they kind of know the signs. They feel empowered to come and tell you. I feel that we really, especially now that where the media and you got your children on the iPads all the time watching things. We don't know sometimes even what they're watching. Some of these cartoons are even being sexualized in a weird way. I don't know if you guys heard about even the LOL dolls. I'm hearing that one of those LOL dolls.
Loads of subliminals.
It's just loads of so this is at all times as uncomfortable and as much as we hate to have these conversations at such a young age with our children, we have to start having these conversations with our children, and just for them in a friendly way, so that they know how to protect themselves. They know about perpetrators. They know that there's bad people that are gonna try and manipulate and things like. And just always tell your children, I would always believe you. I would always believe you. I would always believe you, because your child needs to know that they're going to be believed. Because half of the children that don't come up and say anything because they feel that they're not going to be believed.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
All right, so that's it for this episode, guys. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. But please share. Let's build some awareness about this.
Amen.
Yeah.
And yeah, man.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Well done, everyone.
Whew, that was deep. All right. Where's Mon? Who Mon?